He's in prison for putting Superman in the ICU with a Criptoknight bullet.
Early morning mob, Capo. This show is amazing. I've checked it out a couple of times, and I would recommend all our friends and fans do give them a listen. They do such great work, and I'm really proud and again grateful to be able to be a part of the show.
So these beautiful people know who I am. Do you want to tell them your name?
Mike Brandon.
Mike Brandon's a government name, I'm assuming.
No, that's the one I was given.
There you go. Well, so, your birth name. What made you pick that?
Michael Raymond Brandon.
Okay.
That's my actual birth name.
Yeah, so you went with your birth name.
Yep.
So that's the theme of today. I've noticed a lot of people going and instead of a fancy name, sometimes minimalistic would be better.
Well, I got 3 first names, so can't go wrong.
You can't, like Shawn Michaels, the wrestler. Exactly. So you do acoustics.
What's that?
You do acoustic music.
No, I do electric rock and roll. I play the acoustic guitar, but when I do solo gigs, half the time I'm playing electric.
Okay.
But I have a band, Mike Brandon Band.
Okay.
Yeah, and we got 2 records out. The 3rd record is almost in the can. So we've been recording up at Red Room Sound in Torrington.
Ooh!
All analog. And we're almost done. I was there today. It's one of the reasons why I was a little late getting here, because the session ran over. But
and that's not down the street, Torrington. My coworker, I do construction during the day. My coworker's from Litchfield County up there, like Quarantine or whatever.
Yeah, it's about an hour from here.
Yeah.
But we're just doing the final overdubs. Actually, in the next 2 weeks, it should be finished. We'll start mixing it in a couple of weeks, and I'm hoping to have it in a can by the 4th of July.
That's good.
Yeah.
So constantly working, right?
And it's going to be on vinyl, this one.
Really?
Yep.
Vinyl's coming back.
And we record it to tape. No computers.
Well, I'm familiar just with that studio and like their technique with doing that. I'm a nerd like that, whatever.
Yep. Mick Connolly's a wonderful engineer. Great dude. We become pretty good friends, and actually he's kind of joining the ranks of the group because we did a show up in Danbury and at Sugar Hollow, and he sat in on a couple of the songs he recorded, and he sounded awesome. So I'm probably gonna play with him regularly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gearhead as well, like, and just like the process of recording. This is the like little crazier like woo thing I'll add to that is I like the mechanical parts of recording on non-digital because I believe it's picking up the happiness, the sadness, whatever you're trying to put down in the studio, it's actually magnetically picking up on recording on the tape, and I feel like it actually captures that better than digital. You know, digital is too clean and
too sterile. Well, yeah, I mean, whatever vibrations you're putting out, whether it's the strings or, you know, however you're feeling, they're going to capture it because how you're feeling, you know, whether those are good or bad or nervous or excited or whatever, it's all going to end up on the tape because it's going to affect your performance, you know?
Yes.
So
I just feel like the older stuff picks it up just a little better and sounds better too.
Yeah, well,
when done the right way.
And it definitely captures the organic essence of the moment.
Yes.
And if there's a little, mistake here or there, it's what makes it real. Rock and roll isn't supposed to be perfect.
It's humanized. It's supposed to be more human. It's not supposed to be computerized. What are your musical influences, dead or alive?
Leonard Skinner, the original lineup. The Ronnie Van Zant led group, pre-Crash. Beck, Leonard Cohen, Jethro Tull, Muddy Waters, Jimi Hendrix.
Jethro Tull doesn't get enough. I don't believe get enough respect. I don't know.
They shouldn't. I mean, they should get more. Ian Anderson was a genius. Wonderful. Everybody knows he's a great flautist, but wonderful acoustic guitar player, wonderful songwriter, wonderful arranger. I mean, he kind of all that prog stuff that got almost a little too nerdy. He was in league with them, but he kind of brought it down into the gutter.
I just don't know too many songs. Snot dripping down your nose. Like, who could fit that in like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, who could be poetic about a filthy hobo, right? Ian Anderson could.
Yeah. If you could work with I have people when I ask that question. Yes, my favorite to listen to, but who I'd want to work with.
Well, I almost neglected to mention. I mean, I also love a lot of other groups that have big influences. Gordon Lightfoot, the Beatles, a Black Sabbath, Soundgarden, but I love NRBQ. And if I could ever work with anybody who's like currently alive, collaborate with Terry Adams or Joey Spampanato or Big Al Anderson or even the original drummer Tom Staley, who I just found out is still alive and well and living down south, I think in Florida. And he just did an interview recently. It was a total coincidence that I found out about it, but I didn't even know if he was still alive.
I knew a guy that said he knew Gordon, and I was like, you're lying, just because his last name was Lightfoot. And I was like, I don't know, that's cute, but...
But I would love to work with any of the guys from NRBQ, definitely, because they're, Terry Adams is a genius, and they're all brilliant, and most of them are alive. I mean, Steve Ferguson, the original guitarist, passed, and Tommy Ardolino, longtime drummer, passed away, but... a lot of the guys, they're still out there. They're not really working together anymore, but I'd love to collaborate with any of them.
That's awesome. What is your creative process?
Well, sadly, when things are going too well, I don't write a lot. It's like the muse is only really inspired when things are turbulent.
Yes.
I'm not saying that I don't write when I'm happy, but I'm most prolific when I'm struggling with, in my personal life, with either relationships or just kind of like deciding which way to go on, something that seems pressing. But it's kind of feast or famine.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll write a whole bunch,
Yep.
and then other times it's just little dribs and drabs. It's not as consistent as I would like, but I love collaborating with people, and when I get an opportunity to collaborate with, like a musical friend, then I'm usually always ready to write. But as far as writing on my own, it's kind of however which way the wind blows.
It's funny what it kind of pulls you in. Sometimes I've noticed it is the sadder moments, not the happy moments, whenever it's time to do music or something, or even like that, I gotta fight or something, I had a bad day type of thing,
Yeah.
What is your pre-show rituals to kind of get you on stage, if you have any? Liquid courage or anything like that?
No, I don't really have any. I try to make sure that, because I'm somebody who's kind of had allergy issues throughout their life, so I try not to have any dairy a few hours before I perform. That's about it.
Yep. That's important to make sure the voice is on point and everything.
Yeah. Actually, I usually start a show sober. Sometimes I have a couple drinks if I'm, performing for like 3 hours and somebody offers to buy me a cocktail, but most of my performances are sober. I don't like to perform inebriated. Unless it's like a private party, I've got a safe ride home, and we're playing like all day, and whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
But when you're playing in public, it's good to be on your game and to have your...
See, I like that. You're one of the few people, I like that.
Have your...
Yeah, you'll party later.
Have your stuff wired tight.
Yes. Where can we find all your work?
On Spotify is my second album, Sherman's Tomato. It's iTunes, like Alexa. What's Alexa? Amazon Music.
Yeah.
I'm not good with computers. My friend put it all on there.
Unfortunately, that's the way we promote now, though.
Yeah, but Spotify and Amazon Music and iTunes and SoundCloud for my first record. Oh. We actually had the first album re-release party here about a year ago. Well, what was it? March of 2022, over a year ago. But that record was from 10 years ago. So it was out of print. We reissued it, remixed it, fixed a couple things I didn't like. And we had the release party here, which was pretty successful. And, sold all the CDs. But the new record, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to top it because it beats the first two.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
The first two records were really epic long. Each one was 18 tracks. Each one was 19 tracks. So there was 38 songs between the first two albums. On vinyl, they'd be double albums, It was like the most amount of music I could fit on one CD.
Yeah, that's how I usually do it.
But the new record's going to be about 45 minutes long because it's going to be one vinyl. And but still, I'm really proud of it, and I've got some wonderful support, from the people that played on it. Lydia Arachne from Semaphora played bass and multiple keyboards and horns, and Eli Farland, who's in my group and No Cheese Orchestra, and also King Bullet, or I call it King Baloney because I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not a hippie, I don't eat mushrooms. But Eli is a great drummer, and he's on most of the tracks. Keith Rowland and Scotty Rowland were guests on a couple songs, and then I recently I got Brian Antonucci to play guitar on one track, and I do most of the guitars, but I don't do slide and I don't do crazy Tom Morello sound effects. So I brought him in to do crazy noises, and I brought Ryan Newman from Righteous Continental and Just Enchanted Devices in to play slide, and he did slide today on 2 songs. So, and then this Sunday I'm supposed to have Polina Nazakinskaya from Russia playing violin on it. So it should have a nice, dense variety of different arrangements, and it's going to be more varied than my previous works.
That's cool. That's really, really cool. And I think sometimes, like you said, working with other people inspire maybe your best work.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. I ended with a little crazier question. Do you believe in aliens, and why?
Do I believe in aliens and what?
If you believe in aliens, and if so, why?
Oh. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I'm not somebody who is going to get up on the pulpit and say, there are no aliens. There might be aliens.
Yeah, I believe it. I think I need a little bit more proof, you know?
Yeah, I'm not convinced, but I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm indifferent. I'm leaning more towards maybe.
Sure.
Maybe?
Sure.
Sure. I don't know.
Thank you for coming along.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime, brother.